Traders, welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about AMC and a few other stocks that I'm looking for tomorrow that I see with upside as far as options may go. But the primary focus of the video is going to be going over AMC and what happened specifically on the day. Now, I did expect somewhat of a drop to go into the day, but I wasn't expecting this level of a drop. However, I do believe we found a very strong support. I'll explain the options that I entered today on AMC. I also posted those on Twitter, but let's not waste any more time. Like, subscribe, do what you gotta do. Let's get to it.
I keep that pro in the back with a hand on his lap. I'ma go and collect for the show. That boy never get.
Okay, so the thing we're gonna look at right now is literally just gonna be AMC. Now, as you saw, let's open the day. You had a strong gap up all the way about to 37, 37.5. Now, we knew this was a resistance, and you always expect to get rejected the first time from those resistances. However, I don't think anyone could have suspected this level of a rejection back down to 31.5, 31.4. But people were asking me yesterday, why did I exit my options? Oh, did I not see more upside today? I saw the upside, but I also looked at how much of a move was priced into those options based on IV Crush with the earnings coming up. And it was an 8% move. So I exited and decided to make that exit at about 34.8, 34.9 on the options because I didn't see a justified reason for us to shoot straight up. Now, I mentioned this in the last video. I did not suspect we'd get a straight shot up and move straight to $40-something. I expected it to be slower movement, get some rejection, and slowly start stair-stepping. Now, where I was wrong was thinking that we'd only stop at this 33.5. I mentioned in the video yesterday, I suspected a 33.5, maybe a 34.2 touch, but this is where I was looking to get into. Now, people were also asking, Tyler, well, why didn't you enter on that first touch there? I'm always waiting to see a support. So when I explain where I got in, it'll make more sense. So you saw throughout the whole day, we just came down, 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 never finding support even at this weekly level. You kept getting just straight through it. And then we found the real support, in my opinion, right now. This also represents June's open for the month, which is going to be a strong support. But you came down, we tested, came down, tested, came down, tested. It looks like we're making 3 bottoms there and looking to start moving back up. This right here is right where I entered about 5 minutes 10 minutes before close. Now, I got those options, as you can see right here. And this is what has me very excited. Now, people are going to start automatically asking, where am I looking to get out of these options and things like that. Now, what I want to focus on is you have a resistance here. This did flip. That's going to be a little bit tough to get back above, but I think you're going to get back above, start mounting it. Now, if you start opening up the morning with a gap up, most likely looking to get out of those options. Anytime you start seeing a gap on AMC, you just automatically assume you're going to get somewhat rejected. That's just how AMC moves. When you get these crazy volatile moves up, typically you get pushed back down and then you might move back up. But that IV Crush is going to kill you, and the Theta as well. So make sure that's on your radars if you're looking at options. But as far as stock goes, this is what I want to talk about. I think this was the main support that I was watching for some time right here, here, and now we're getting that touch here. This, in my opinion, was more of a fluke, just like a fake out crash, and he came back up. I like that a lot. So I think this is the main support. You don't want to see a break below 31.5. We want to hold this level, and you want to see some immediate movement back above the weekly going into the end of the week. Now, like I said, I don't see August being the month we shoot to $70, $80. I don't see that happening. I think it could take us a little bit more time. Most of those options that we're looking at to really start pushing AMC back up are mid-September. So beginning of September, we might start seeing some crazy movement. But I want to say that I don't expect parabolic movement right now. I don't see it happening. However, like I said, I think the bottom is in. And unless we break below this 31.5, I have to assume the bottom is in. Now, I do want to see, like I said, some movement back to the upside, mounting this level here, holding that as a support, and then moving back towards 34, 30.65, and then eventually getting back above that monthly level right here. That's going to be the big area. You get above this, and we're really taking shape for a bullish momentum type pattern. You want to start mounting those monthly levels because that's what's going to really start pushing you back towards $50 and maybe even $60. Those are the ranges we need to be watching. Okay, so going into tomorrow, there's specific sectors that I like. The infrastructure bill just passed, and if there's any clean energy play that I do like, it's going to be Plug Power. I love what they're doing right now. And they also have news that they're moving into and being the first hydrogen-based plant here in the United States. absolutely huge news, and that's kind of where we're moving towards with clean energy. Now, they've obviously had a massive run up, so I think people need to be very careful with this. Not financial advice whatsoever, but I'm looking at entries here. I did play them a little bit today, and then we got pushed back down, so I just cut some of my plays, but I am looking for longer dated calls. I think this thing has massive room to run all the way up to $34.5, $35 roughly, maybe even higher. I think this is just setting up shop, and you can see we flatlined in this range. We came back down and tested. I think you're a bull here. I think you have lots of room. If you gap fill down to 28.2, I'm in love right there. That's where I'm absolutely in love. So Plug Power going into the next few weeks has a lot of momentum and a lot going for them. I recommend just Googling and looking up the news behind Plug Power and then doing your own DD, but I am pretty positive you'll love the company. Now, a lot of people are going to love this one. This is SoFi, and a lot of people in the Discord, I'm always getting comments about it. Y'all love SoFi. Now, SoFi has earnings coming up. This is going to be pretty big, and this kind of comes back towards Robinhood and what was going on there. So Robinhood is really shedding light on the money to be made in this sector, and I think SoFi is pretty underpriced. They are working on getting that bank charter, and these earnings could be pretty big for them. It's also worth mentioning, if we just take a really quick zoom back out, based on their last earnings, they ran up huge, and you kind of kept going and double topped around 24. I think there's a lot of room for this thing to run. I think this is one of those more heavily shorted plays, but I think this definitely can start pushing towards 18.2, possibly $19. Could it run even further? 110%. You are getting that local bottom down here at about 14.8. You love to see it. I called this out in the Discord as well. And, you know, people are making tons of money on this. I personally didn't trade this, but I just kind of shed light on some of the plays that I do really like seeing. Now, these aren't going to be shorter term trades in my opinion. These are just trades that are setting up over the course of the next few days and weeks. So I just want to shed light on possible good setups. I'm personally not in either one of these, so everyone should know that, but I am looking at Plug more than SoFi right now. All right, so the first thing I want to say is that the two stocks that I mentioned in the second part of the video, I'm not into those yet. SoFi, I think, has a lot of room to run. I think people need to keep an eye on that one. And then as far as it goes with Plug Power, I think that thing is set up to absolutely start running. The infrastructure bill is kind of the baseline for it, but then the new power plant coming into the scene, I think, is a game changer and really puts him at the forefront of all this clean energy right now, especially since it will be the absolute first of its kind here in the United States. Now, AMC, I'm looking at these options. I'll post my exits whenever I do it on Twitter, so you can see that. If you're interested in anything with AMC, there's no need for the Discord, the Patreon, anything like that. I post all of that content absolutely free on Twitter. It is 100% free. The link is down below. I'll be live tomorrow. I might be live tonight. I don't really know. We'll have to see what happens. Like, subscribe, do what you got to do. And if you really feel like the content just isn't hitting home, then you're just going to have to unsubscribe. Namaste.
So I came right back on them hoes. I got hypes on the train, hella ice in their veins for a price of